We could expand our reuse system. There are two cities in Texas during this last drought. There were two cities in Texas that became the first cities in the country to do what's called direct potable reuse. And that is, you take the water directly from the wastewater plant, it never goes into a river, and you go straight back to distribution with it. Technologically, it's easy to do. It's easy to make water that's too clean to drink. You have to dirty it back up to drink it. So there's a lot of options that San Antonio could things we could do with this water in the future, but we don't want to do that. We realistically, we know that we have, kind of a stewardship responsibility to the river. I was trained as an environmental scientist, and I got into the field because I wanted to do big environmental projects. And I didn't take the job for the glamour and excitement of working at a sewer plant. We just feel like it's the right thing to do environmentally, it's the right thing to do for the regional economy, and...
No, I'm not saying it's not the right thing to do or whatever, but I was just maybe asking what's the difference if the state owns it or if you own it? If you own it, you get to charge for it or do whatever you want to in the future?
No, if we own it, we can prevent the Guadalupe Blanco River Authority from picking the water up and storing it in their lower basin reservoir and selling it off before it reaches the coast. And that's kind of the bottom line. That's one of the big reasons we want to protect this water.
What about individuals who have properties and can irrigate from the river? Will that prevent them if you have ownership?
No, if they have riparian water rights,
Yes.
anybody along the river, they don't even need a permit from the state. They can water directly from the river, just using riparian rights. This does not affect those rights at all.
But if y'all own it, then y'all get to have a say-so on it?
Well, there's also a provision in the law that says if somebody's water right, and this is not riparian rights, this is a paper water right, if your water right was issued based on the use or availability of effluent, then the state's going to protect that right. So where we are now with the state is they're going to go through a modeling exercise, and they have to decide of all the water rights up and down the San Antonio River, which ones were issued based on our effluent being there. And then they will protect those rights. So we're going to discharge 50,000 acre feet, but that's not what you get at the coast. What happens is they're going to lop some of it off for evaporation, and evapotranspiration is taken up by plants. So there'll be a reduction factor, and then there'll also be a reduction factor for any water rights that they feel that they need to protect. Am I answering your question?
Do you all have any other questions or additional information? No? All right. It's a CNA. Are we ready?
You said the key words to the end, Mr. Eckhart. You said a regional economy. And we have been very supportive of SAW's issues in the past. And as long as San Antonio continues to grow and need the resources to do so, I think Floresville has our obligation to support that. I know this is not about it's about the environment and so forth, but I'm going to make the motion to approve the resolution of the SAW's Bed and Banks Resolution 2016-008.
All right, would you please read the very last paragraph?
The very last part.
Resolving that. Now therefore be it resolved, resolving that by the City Council of Floresville.
Now therefore be resolved by the City Council of Floresville, Texas as follows. Floresville, Texas hereby supports pending application number 13098 of the San Antonio Water Systems to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality for Bed and Banks authorization. 2, the City Manager of City of Floresville is hereby directed to communicate this resolution to TCEQ, and it's authorized to take such other action as he deems appropriate in furtherance of this resolution. So signed by the distinguished Mayor of Floresville.
May I have a second?
I'll make a second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Citizen comments? If there are no citizens' comments, let's take a vote. All those in favor? Opposed? All right, Madam Secretary? 5-0. Thank you. Motion carries. Thank you
Thank you
very
very
much.
First of all, I just want to say I'm the third wheel here, but anyway, I do want to thank you, Councilman Tejada, certainly the mayor. I noticed, know Johnny, some of the others, congratulations on being elected. I'm a former mayor and former council member as well, so I know exactly what you're going through. But anyway, this is a good program, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart that this is really good. It's a regional concept kind of thing. We need everybody here, and I think that the Wilson County and Lavernia have improved as well in this particular county, so we're very grateful for that, and want you to know that if there's anything we could do, and we're headquartered in San Antonio, please give us a holler. And like I said, I know Danny Tejada personally, and Johnny Ray through the years as well. So thank y'all very much, and good night, God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your work.
All right, we'll go on to the next item, B, CNA to approve the Wilson County Appraisal District's 2017 operating budget. Do we have a comptroller? Ms. Connie?
Good evening, Mayor and Councilman, and I have here Jenny from the appraisal office to present their budget.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Jenny, the Chief Appraiser of the Wilson County Appraisal District. This is Daniel, our Deputy Chief Appraiser. We just wanted to bring our budget in front of y'all to have it approved, or if you had any questions for it, it's a pretty standard budget. There's no raises or anything in it this year. We felt this wasn't a good year to go for that due to the economy and everything going on with everybody else's budgets. So we wanted to keep it pretty flat. The main increases were due to insurance. As you all know, everybody's insurance is going up. And we also absorbed a salary from the collection side because we are going to be getting rid of collections in 2017.
Council, y'all have any questions?
Maybe 2 for 2. Because last year was your first year presenting it, right?
Yes, sir.
How's the building going on?
Yeah. We're hoping to start it probably within the next month. As far as I understand, our architect in the Gerloff who's going to be doing the construction, they're supposed to be bringing all our stuff over to start working on the permits and everything with the city. So hopefully we can get on it. We're hoping to be in there by February.
Good luck with the permits.
Thanks. So hopefully February.
May I have a motion? Yes.
So how much more is it gonna be this year than last year?
For the city of Floresville or total for the budget?
Total for the budget?
The budget total actually went down because we're getting rid of collections. It went down by $152,000. But because on the appraisal side, we're absorbing that other salary, and due to the increase in insurance and everything, our total budget went up $42,000 for the appraisal side. For city of Floresville though, looks like it's just gonna be an increase of $1,600 a year.
You said 28,000 though on the total operating budget?
No, 40.
42?
42,000.
Yes, sir.
732.
42, yeah, 732.
Mayor, if there's no further questions, I make a motion that we approve.
Motion, we have a second. Citizens' comments? No comments? We'll take a vote. All those in favor?
We have a second?
Any opposed? All those
5-0,
opposed?
Mayor.
All right, thank you. Motion carries.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
And I want to go ahead and take advantage of these to thank the appraisal district. Now we're building a good relationship in between the city and the appraisal district, so we now have somebody to come and present their budget.
Very good. Thank you so much. The next item, item 6, CNA to approve additional street closures for the Floresville Peanut Festival. Councilman Nieto.
I think there's representatives here from the Peanut Festival.
Ms. Rhodes?
Hi, good evening. I'm Leanne Droz, the president this year, and I have with me part of the executive board, Vice President Carmen Leal, parliamentarian Michelle Tackett, and Second Vice President Sandy Strozier. And we're asking for additional closure for the parade on Saturday for the Peanut Festival. And let me give you a little bit of information as to why we're bringing that forward to you, what is precipitating us coming to talk. And if you'll look at your little Google map, I think you've got that in your packet. If you orient yourself with the words Google Map at the bottom left, you'll see where Phelps is outlined, and a couple of other landmarks are indicated there on the map. I'm sure all of you are very familiar with the present parade route. What we're bringing to you today is a concern with part of the parade route, and that would be from C Street down 3rd towards D. Okay, so that would be in front of the courthouse, in front of the Arcadia. During the Peanut Festival parade, you know that we've got both sides of that street are lined with vendors, and it is very crowded. As a matter of fact, it's growing. Our parade is growing. We've got more people who are attending. So both sides of that street are very packed with vendors. And what we see happening is that as the parade is going through that part of 3rd Street, and people are finished watching the parade around Phelps and the announcing booth, they're trying to make their way to 3rd Street to buy their food and their drinks. All the while, the parade is still trying to travel through 3rd Street. We feel like that may be causing a safety issue. Personally saw a few things last year that I was pretty alarmed about. And so we're trying to run a parade down a street with vendors on both sides. And so that's the concern that we bring to you today. The edited parade route, if you'll see there, would be to start at Phelps just like we've done before. There would be no staging change behind Phelps and streets 5, 6, 5th, 6th, 7th. All of that remains the same. But we would start the parade at Phelps on C Street as usual, go down C Street, and instead of turning right on 3rd, we would proceed down C Street and go to 2nd Street. And now we're kind of going in the opposite direction. Take a right on 2nd. And then at the next street, which is B, we would take a right at B, go in front of Miss Annie's Peanut Brittle, continue down B by the Baptist Church, and then turn left on 4th and head towards the 4-way stop, down towards between the Baptist and the Methodist Church, towards Vineyards Funeral Home. We feel like this modification in the parade route will provide a lot of seating on 4th there between the Baptist and the Methodist Church. All of that is got sidewalks there, so we can close that street and allow people to sit there all the way down to Vineyards Funeral Home if that's where we want to go and take it. We're asking that we close that street at the 4-way stop. And in doing that, people that come in on the bypass can turn left and proceed down Standish, and then turn right on the 5th, 6th, or 7th and still proceed towards town that way. Or they can turn right at Standish there and go by Tejada Field and still access parking that way. So we bring this to you with the hopes that we can provide a more safe experience for our parade goers and the people that come to our festival. We do want to provide a safe, clean area to get your food and your drinks. We've grown so much that we can use that part of 3rd Street from C to B as our staging area for our day entertainment. Carmen Leal has worked real hard on that committee too, and so has Ms. Strozier. to provide activities for our kids that use trailer stages, and we can have those things set up Thursday or Friday and not have to scurry around so quickly after the parade is over, and have those things already set up so that we can have other entertainment Friday and Saturday. So by doing this, I think it allows growth for us. It allows us to bring in additional activities, more vendors, because we are growing. I know you all attended Peanut Festival last year, and I think it was a huge success. It was a huge success in the money that we profited from our vendors. I think, I can't remember exactly, it was $170-something thousand that we took in on food, right? I mean, that wasn't total profit for us by any means, and as you know, we are a nonprofit. The way we sustain the festival is what we earn from vendors, and any sponsorships that we try to generate throughout the year. That golf tournament that we host every year pays for the scholarships that we give our Royal Court in their senior year. So one day we hope to, we've talked about it and knocked it around, and we'd really like to increase those scholarships that we give those kids, because they've remained the same for a while. So we bring to you this modification in the parade route with the safety in mind, and providing a more pleasant, positive experience for our parade goers and our festival goers.
You're saying that you want to go all the way out on the business 181 that way?
Not any farther than the four-way stop, of course. I mean, there are,
But that's a state, that's not up to us, I don't think. So you're going through.
if you'll speak to that.
Sure. So we've already contacted TxDOT about road closures and roads that of course they would have to give approval of. And they are in favor of what we're doing. They're going to approve that once we get our insurance in place, our liability insurance in place, and send them our certificate. They will sign off on our, what we're asking for, street closures and road closures within state right of ways.
So what about off like trail, like the Lindy with the house, you can turn there and maybe people.
Well, what we're
Are
hoping,
they turning that four-way stop into a stoplight? I see they're putting like lights.
it looks like that. What we're hoping is that I have visited with Vineyards, I have visited with the Baptist Church, I have visited with the Methodist Church, just to get their feedback, and everyone was very positive. I'm hoping that we can have a positive conversation about possibly using some of their parking lots for disbanding on that end of the street, because I think it would provide a safe opportunity for people to unload their floats and what have you, and still have access to the bypass at 181 there, or, going out on 181 to leave the city.
My major concern is if you're coming down 181, say you're a truck driver, where are they going to turn? They can't make a U-turn back.
So they're at the four-way stop, they have the opportunity to turn left and go back to 181, or turn right and go through Tejada Field and access that way. So,
But I'm just saying, that they're gonna come back around to like 536, or, I mean, not, like if you come back.
Do you mean
back towards-
traveling?
So they wouldn't
Yeah.
Do you
go-
mean
we're gonna close it.
18-wheeler in the parade, or do you mean one coming down the road?
Coming down the road.
We're gonna
So
close it
keep
to the four-way.
keep in mind that traditionally, we always close that one little piece between Phelps and Tap Brown. That, we've always had permission from TxDOT.
No, but I'm
to close.
talking way.
Right, so we would we'd already be closing that spot, so they wouldn't be able to get through even today with that because we have it closed.
No,
But
but-
if we moved it further, we would have to stop it right before, and that's why she's saying, we're thinking by Vineyards is more of the area where it
Because they have
would
the
stop
parking lot
and
there.
turn.
yeah, they have a parking